What they could be when the team's not responding to their coaching style.
Mm-hmm.
Out coach, which happens a lot.
Okay, when you say out coach, because I hear that a lot, because this is something I truly don't understand. When you say out coach, what determines that you've been out coached?
For instance, the Bulls was playing the Miami Heat in the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Derrick Rose and their offense flowing. LeBron said, "You know what? I'm gonna pick up Derrick Rose." Derrick Rose couldn't shoot around him. He couldn't get around him because he was too big.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of him adjusting and running the ball through someone else,
mm-hmm.
he continued to filter the ball through Derrick Rose. Now, I understand that you've been running your offense the same way all year,
mm-hmm.
but Eric Spoelstra, I'm sorry, I didn't forgot his name. He done showed you all through these playoffs where you got to make adjustments, man.
But see, this is where I have a problem when y'all say out coach. The reason I have a problem with y'all say out coach, in that scenario, I see exactly what you're talking about. But when you take a step back from that scenario and you realize the offense, Luol Deng was limited in regards to ball handling skill and scoring ability. Jimmy Butler was not the Jimmy Butler that we saw the night before last. He's a totally different Jimmy Butler. Limited in offense, Joakim Noah and Taj Gibson. The rest of those dudes were just dudes. When you don't have any other options, there are no adjustments to be made. Now, if your argument is he should have been prepared for that to come, my counterpart to that would be, how are you prepared for a guy to slow down? Because you really can't shut down a person that won league MVP unless they get hurt. How do you shut down, prepare for somebody to slow down the league MVP?
You make some type of adjustment. I mean, because your bench is doing good. Bring in somebody off the bench. Do something. Change it up, man.
But they didn't have. See, especially, I'm glad you picked that scenario, because me and you both know the Chicago Bulls are the only team to win 6 NBA championships or 8 NBA championships in spite of their general manager and ownership. The Bulls get one guy and then build everything around him, and that's the only option that the coach has. This might be the most versatile team that the Bulls have ever had in our lifetime. With above average to quality ball players.
Okay.
You can do that if let's just say, swap Zach LaVine for Derrick Rose. I think you can do that with a Kobe White. I think you can do that with a Lauri Markkanen. I think you can do that with an Otto Graham. But Luol Deng was average on his best night. He got a whole lot of credit for nothing, if you ask me. Joakim Noah was limited offensively. So it really wasn't a lot of adjustments to make. And then, at what point do we start blaming these players for not developing additional abilities? Jimmy Butler is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. When Jimmy Butler first on that team, Jimmy Butler couldn't score. If it wasn't a dunk or a layup, Jimmy Butler wasn't gonna score. But look at him now.
On the team, though, was he?
Yeah, he was on that team. He was on that team. He was on that team. But he was limited. But look at how Jimmy Butler developed. When you look at a lot of these teams that get the coach that say he ain't responding, they ain't responding. Some of these dudes ain't shit. Like it's two dudes in my instant recollection that you can use. That Rick Carlisle when he was with the Pistons, because they wasn't maxing out. You put Larry Brown there, boom, they go to conference championships and they go to the NBA finals back to back, once winning, once lose to the Spurs. Then you got Phil Jackson. He implemented the triangle offense with a team that was continue to lose to the Pistons. Bring Phil Jackson in and you change shit around. The Lakers exact same thing with Phil. Can you give me another instance when you just brought in what? But I don't think Mark Jackson got an opportunity to adjust anything. But Mark Jackson took them from shit to sugar, and then took that sugar, made ice cream. But besides those three situations, and I don't give Steve Kerr credit for that, he got a team on the edge. But like,
well, Rick Carlisle, you know what? Nah, Rick Carlisle didn't do that with Dallas. Avery Johnson didn't have Jason Kidd.
He didn't have Jason Kidd. He didn't have Caron Butler. He didn't have Tyson Chandler. He didn't have Jason Terry. So no. See that's my.
I think of another NBA situation. What about nah?
That's what I'm saying. All this stuff about they not responding. At what point is it not the X's and the O's, and it is the Willies and the Joes? And I don't want to use a big time ball player to show an example.
But you gotta understand also. I mean, to cut you off, but I mean, it's always gonna fall on the coach. I mean, that's just in any sport, man.
To me, you need to start trying to move around these players, man, because I'm not saying that coaches don't need to be fired. Don't get me wrong. But I'm gonna use a regular Joe. And then the only person in the chat room I think that's gonna know who I'm talking about, maybe Deacon Dale, maybe you, and I don't know how old Ron is. So I don't know. He might not know because he in Canada. But it was a dude named Robert Reed. Robert Reed wasn't no superstar by nobody's standard, right? But Robert Reed took himself from being a one-handed dude. All he could do is dribble with his right, score twos and fews, maybe 10, 11 points with his right. You know what Robert Reed said he did? He said he went and got a sling, put his arm in a sling, learned how to sign his check with his left hand because Magic Johnson was wearing him out. 1985, 1986 season, Robert Reed stepped up, defended Magic, handled the ball better, and they went to the NBA Finals. Eventually, they lost to Bird and them, but my point ain't that they won. This is a dude that saw weakness in his game and he improved on it. These dudes don't improve and get coaches fired. Or these general managers cutting corners and getting coaches fired, and then you never get another job if you're a brother. Or unless if you're a brother, you Doc Rivers, and you might get another job.
Right. But if I'm Doc, you know what? Do you even want to get back in coaching this soon, though? They got 2 years left where they're going to have to pay you.
Yeah. I mean, but again, I don't know. That's a question I don't know. Because he said he's still interested in the Sixers and the Pelicans, for what I understand, reached out to him, but he ain't say, yeah, I'm going. But it's just, I don't know, man. It's just like the whole, since we brought him up, it is the Doc Rivers firing that bothers me. Because I ain't trying to put you on blast, but yourself and others who call Chris Paul the biggest choker in the world, and he always messing up and yada, 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 and then Doc get fired for it. Everybody told me Kawhi Leonard, 365 days ago, people told me Kawhi was about to take over the NBA, LeBron is finished, yada, 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 and Kawhi Leonard choked his ass off. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off like Shannon Sharp pissed off that ain't nobody killing this dude. And then they put out that old square ass memo talking about Kawhi wanted Doc to stay. You a lie. That's a lie.
How you figure that's a lie, man?
Dude, that dude called Doc Rivers out. He called out the intelligence of the team. And how about this, Kawhi? He talking about we was tired. We need to work on conditioning. Maybe you'll be in better condition if your black ass played every night. You went to Los Angeles because they said you ain't have to play at night, and they weren't gonna give you nothing. They weren't gonna give you no smoke about it. That's why you went to LA. Because you see, it's easy being LeBron when it's just winning and losing. It's hard being LeBron when them damn reporters on your ass. When they asking you about everything under the sun. When they ask you about everything under the sun, it's easy to be LeBron up until that moment. Now when they get to ask you about social issues, now that when they start asking you about all this other stuff, then it ain't easy to be LeBron. But hey, man, me personally, I'm looking at and I'm gonna give you the floor after this. A year ago, Jerry West was the smartest dude in the world. A year ago, Lawrence Frank was the smartest dude in the world. A year ago, Doc Rivers was the smartest dude in the world. A year ago, Kawhi Leonard was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Can't nobody deal with him. I don't understand why y'all even like LeBron. He finished. 365 days later, I don't hear nothing about Jerry West. I don't hear nothing about Lawrence Frank. Doc Rivers fired, and Kawhi Leonard is running shit. Holler at me. I'm through talking.
Well, when you bring a player of that nature, knowing that, he's drinking the Kool-Aid as well as he should be drinking the Kool-Aid. But once you have a collapse with the capital that they gave up for Paul George, once again, it's always going to fall on the coach.
I mean, I understand it's going to fall on the coach, but I don't understand how it's the coach's fault, but one dude and Jamal Murray outscored Lou Williams, Playoff P, and King Kawhi by himself. And they were missing wide open jumpers. So they were running their offense, getting exactly where they're comfortable hitting those shots and missing them.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, in this case, normally I'll be like, hey, man, it's time for this motherfucker to go. But I didn't think they should have fired him. I mean, I can understand why.
Right.
Because of the history. But I don't think they should have fired him. I just think that they needed somebody to run the team, maybe a point guard. But I don't think they should have got rid of him at this point in time, unless it was just one of those things where, hey, man, you need to make this work. Or so he probably was like, hey, man, I don't want to be bothered with these egos, because it's been said that supposedly Kawhi's trainer or somebody was on Twitter talking about
LeBron,
Montrez, and Paul George.
Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about, man. And that's why, to me, that's why I ain't trying to hear none of this nonsense. Coaches need to be fired and all that nonsense. Nah, man, they need to start moving around some of these bums, because I remember when a dude who one of my top 5 favorite players. I was just talking about this last night. He my favorite all-time power forward. Well, he number 2. Derek Coleman is number 1, but he number 2. Chris Webber got shipped the fuck up out of Washington because he was acting a fool. Now, Chris Webber, if it was an all HRap team, Chris Webber would be second team all HRap. Derek Coleman number 1. But and they shipped him out of town because he wasn't acting right.